This right here was the Aliyah Boston performance Fever fans had been begging to see. For weeks, maybe even months, the whispers had been building. Where was the Aliyah Boston who was supposed to be a cornerstone of this franchise? Defensively, she always held her own, but on offense, she had faded into the background. Too many nights went by where she didn't demand the ball, didn't impose her size and skill, and didn't leave her mark. But in this game, everything changed. Boston came out with a fire in her eyes, playing like someone who was tired of the criticism, tired of the doubts, and determined to silence every voice questioning her role. She was locked in from the opening tip, and the result was one of the most dominant performances of her career. She was unstoppable in the paint, finishing strong, rebounding with authority, and reminding everyone why she was drafted to be the backbone of this Fever team. 26 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. Those aren't just stats, those are statements. This wasn't just a personal showcase. Boston's energy lifted the Fever to a win that forced the series to a decisive Game 5 in Las Vegas, a twist almost nobody saw coming. The Aces, led by Aja Wilson's brilliance, were supposed to close things out. But Boston wasn't going to let that happen. It turned into a heavyweight showdown, Wilson versus Boston, blow for blow like two prizefighters in their prime. Wilson delivered her usual brilliance with 32 points, 10 boards, and a defensive showcase, but for once she wasn't the only star shining brightest on the floor. Boston stood tall and matched her punch for punch, and the Fever lived to fight another day. But Boston wasn't alone in this fight. Kelsey "Pistol" Mitchell was sensational, dropping 29 points with her trademark mix of sharpshooting and clutch shot-making. No matter how many defenders Vegas threw her way, traps, doubles, elbows in the lane, she found a way to score. Every time the Fever needed a bucket, she was there. Odyssey Sims also deserves her flowers, putting up 19 points and orchestrating the offense with veteran composure. That one highlight play on the left wing, hesitation, pump fake, step through, finishing at the rim, was streetball magic on a playoff stage. Lexi Hull's numbers won't wow anyone, but her hustle was priceless. She was everywhere defensively, diving on the floor, tipping passes, frustrating the Aces guards, and creating extra possessions the Fever turned into points. The Fever's relentlessness showed in the free throw battle too, 30 attempts compared to Vegas' 12. That aggression made the difference, even though Becky Hammon will probably have plenty to say about it. Still, the Fever earned it by attacking, by living in the paint, by making the Aces uncomfortable for 40 minutes. Natasha Howard, on the other hand, struggled again with turnovers and fouls, leaving too many possessions wasted. But the rest of the squad picked her up. Shea Petty chipped in off the bench, providing steady defense and key buckets in big moments. This was the kind of total team effort that turned doubters into believers. And then there was the atmosphere. Fever fans showed up and showed out. By the time Kelsey Mitchell was at the line, MVP chants were raining down, loud and unrelenting, echoing in Aja Wilson's face. That was savage, raw fandom at its finest, the type of support that builds legends. Social media exploded too. Wilson may have racked up massive online buzz, but the Fever fans hijacked the moment. They claimed it for themselves, dubbing their squad the Suicide Squad, and embracing the chaos that makes this team such a nightmare to play against. The culture shift was undeniable. The Fever aren't just competing in games, they're rewriting the way people talk about the WNBA. Now all eyes turn to Vegas. Game 5 is set to be a spectacle, a clash dripping with drama and anticipation. But one thing remains frustrating: the league's scheduling. Once again, this game went head-to-head with NFL Sunday, burying what could have been a showcase moment under the weight of football. It's a mistake the WNBA keeps making, robbing itself of opportunities to grab the spotlight. These games deserve to stand on their own, not get lost in the noise of the NFL juggernaut. If the league truly wants to grow, it needs to give matchups like this the stage they deserve. For now, though, all that matters is that the Fever are still alive. They weren't supposed to push the Aces this far, and yet here they are, fueled by Boston's resurgence, Mitchell's brilliance, and a team that refuses to back down. One more win and they're in the finals. One more fight and this underdog story becomes unforgettable. The job isn't finished, but the belief is real. The Fever have planted their flag and they're daring anyone to try and move it. What did you think of Aliyah Boston's breakout performance? Can the Fever really pull off the upset in Game 5, or will Vegas remind everyone why they've been the powerhouse of the league? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the conversation, because this series just became must-watch history in the making.